Hi, my name is George Russo, and this is my bedroom here at the McLaughlin house. And this guy is named Benjamin. Hi, Benjamin.
Hi George, how are you today?
Good. How are you today, Benjamin?
I'm doing really well. It's nice to see you today.
Yeah, it is so nice to see you, Benjamin. And it's awful nice seeing you at the State House on Wednesday, February 3rd, 2016. Why were we at the State House for?
So yesterday was the Massachusetts Brain Association, Brain Injury Association Advocacy Day at the State House.
Yeah.
And it was an opportunity for individuals who live with acquired and traumatic brain injuries to talk about their experiences and to meet with their state legislators and representatives who will be voting on a bill that is to come before the State House to increase funding for cognitive rehabilitation for survivors of traumatic brain injury. Because right now, the state only pays for a couple weeks of rehabilitation after someone is discharged from the hospital.
That is bad.
Yeah, and the reality is that recovering from a brain injury requires a lot of time, more than a couple weeks.
Way more. I can remember back when I had my automobile accident, and when I was 2.5 years old, it was in 1969. They didn't know nothing about brain injury. And close as my parents could get a headline was CP. I could remember seeing my father on TV hosting the United Cerebral Palsy Telethon. Now, since what year was head injury first discovered?
So your injury was in 1969?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that brain injuries weren't acknowledged as a separate injury on their own until maybe 20 years after that, in the late 80s or so.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure of the date.
I remember a group of women was at their table. They founded the statewide head injury back in the year 2004. I remember hearing a lady doing her speech when I went to the head injury ward at Jamaica Pond back in 2008. Yeah, and they know nothing back in my days about head injury.
So George, yesterday at the Advocacy Day at the State House, Do you feel like your voice was heard by our lawmakers?
Yeah, because when the American public knows nothing about head injuries, and more people rally for head injury rights that live with a disability caused by a head injury. It will make that more and more aware that we need more money for head injuries.
And it's difficult because each brain injury is different.
Yeah.
Just like each person is different, right?
Right.
So, your injury happened when you were very young.
Yeah, true.
Do you even remember it when it happened?
No, my parents told me that.
Years later.
Yeah.
So you've lived your whole life that you can remember, you've lived with this injury, right?
Yeah.
And so that's, you grew up with it. For some people, their injury doesn't occur until many years into their life, right?
Yeah, right.
So, and the degree of severity, how bad the injury is also different, Someone can just bump their head and have a brain injury and not know it. And one of the issues with the way that laws are now is some people can have brain injuries that have significant damage on the inside of their brain, but on the outside you can't really tell.
Yeah.
So I heard a story of a teacher who had a brain injury from a car accident.
Yeah.
But her injury was not so severe that she didn't look like she had a brain injury. Sometimes you can't tell just by looking at someone. And the people who were in charge of giving her disability pay didn't believe that she was disabled.
No.
Even though brain injuries can cause turmoil in one's life. If you bump your head, then you're very sensitive to bright lights, you're very sensitive to loud noises.
Yeah.
Things that people who don't have brain injuries can easily deal with. For other people with brain injuries, it's very difficult.
Yeah. Now, you heard of Ryan's story.
Yeah.
What did you hear?
Well, Ryan told me that she was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And that she was in a competition, and she was one of the athletes who was supporting people from the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And that one of her teammates bailed out and fell on her chest and knocked her down to the ground. And she didn't have any, her head didn't get hit against something, but the brain is a very sensitive organ, and it's sort of suspended in the middle of your head. Yeah. So any type of dramatic movement could result in the brain hitting against the side of the skull cavity, which can create injury on the brain. And so the issue with Ryan's injury was her coach at the time did not acknowledge that she was injured and wanted her to continue competing, which was proved to be very detrimental.
That is bad. He should have sent her straight to the hospital, and they should bring through a CT scan.
So do you think that Ryan's story is a good example of the need to take concussions more seriously?
Yeah, it's very serious. You saw that movie starring Will Ferrell,
Will Smith.
Will Smith about concussions.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to, and I hear
Yeah.
it's very powerful.
Yeah, it is very powerful. He just about a football team and the two football players collided head to head. Luckily they had their helmet on, but no one will believe him.
But even having helmets
Yeah.
doesn't prevent the brain from getting injured, right?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, they should look out for it.
Do you think people should still play football?
Well, yeah, but they should, but they gotta be more careful.
Do you think the National Football League should change its rules so people don't hit?
Yeah, of course they should change their rules. Too many football players are colliding with their head, and our brain is a serious organ. The brain is the master of your body. If a certain lobe of your brain is injured, then you can't use a certain limb of your body ever again.
And that's what happened with you, right?
Yeah, the car had damaged my left brain cell, which made my right part of my right arm and leg partly disabled. Now I cannot do that with my right hand. I cannot do that with my right arm, or I cannot do that with my right leg.
Even if you try.
Even if I try, but I could walk with my four-prong cane, or my grandpa is.
And you do physical therapy, right?
I go to Gordon College every day. No, Gordon College 2 days a week. Wednesday and Friday, and I do some of the machines there. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you for having me, George. It's always a pleasure speaking
You're
with you.
welcome. Okay. Could you cut that? Yeah, let's see.